Every single recruiter in the history of the world has been on the phone with a candidate, hung up and said, well, that's it. I don't need to do anything else because I just found the candidate. I don't need to speak to anybody else because this is the person they are going to hire. We have all done it. I myself have done it hundreds, if not thousands of times. But how do you, as the candidate, know if that's you? How do you know when you get off the phone with the recruiter, they're thinking that you are the one, and does it matter? The answer is it does matter. While every single recruiter out there will not hold significant influence, enough of them will that you should want to know what they thought of you as a candidate. I can't tell you how many times I get on the phone with a hiring manager and they say to me, Ben, rank your candidates from 1 to 3. And I can't tell you how many times they never even interviewed that third place candidate, or how many times they hired the first place candidate. A lot. In today's video, I'm going to give you 6 different signs that are going to help you understand if they are interested in you as a candidate, and will they be moving you on and advocating for you as the person who should fill this role. Let's go. My name is Ben White with Ben Talks Talent, and if you came to this channel because you want to give yourself every single advantage possible to land your next job and find out how to interview, well, I've got good news for you. You have come to the right place. If you are new here, do me a favor, take 3 seconds, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss one of my videos. And if you are not new, well, welcome back. Today, I want to talk about signs. Signs that you, as the interviewer, when you're being interviewed by a company, specifically a recruiter, where if you hear these signs, if you see these signs, if they ask you certain things, you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that they are interested in you as a candidate. One of the first things that you need to be looking out for is when the recruiter starts to evaluate where they stand. They're going to spend a lot of time asking you questions about your background, your contribution, your history, your experience. But at some point, when you're nailing the interview and everything is going well, and they start to say things like, hey, Ben, how do we compare with the other interviewers or the other companies you're currently interviewing with? Right? Do you see what I did there? They use an assumptive close, right? Because they want to let you know, hey, it's okay. And they want to let you know it's okay because they want you to feel comfortable giving them that information. They want to know if you were interviewing elsewhere. And why would they want to know that? Because they want to know if they need to rush. They think you're a good candidate, so they want to know, what do we need to do to move this forward in the process so we can secure your services and not some other company. So again, the question is, Ben, how does this opportunity compare with the other opportunities you are currently interviewing for? If you get that question or any like it, it's because they are evaluating where they stand and they are interested in you as a candidate. Another question they might say is, where is your interest in this role? Could you rate it on a 1 to 10? Or how interested are you in this role? Anything like that, that is a buying sign. And what they're trying to do is they are trying to establish a successful timeline and what it looks like so that they can hire you and bring you on the team. The next thing you want to look for is if after you've been talking for a while, they say things like, well, Ben, what isn't doing it for you in your current role, right? Or, you know, you said earlier you weren't really looking, but there's got to be a reason you're talking to me. What about your current job isn't satisfying you? What are they doing there? They're actually not trying to get you to talk poorly about your previous job. They're ammunition gathering. So what they're doing is they're trying to find out what are the things non-monetary that you are unhappy with. Maybe it's work-life balance. Maybe it's vacation. Maybe you don't have a significant enough scope in your current job and you want to grow as a professional. What they are doing is they are getting those things. If they are good at their job, they are writing them down. And as they move you forward in the process and you start to waver, I don't know, maybe I should stay at my current company, or maybe I'm going to accept a counteroffer, they can remind you of the things that made you talk with them in the first place. Anytime they start digging in and saying, okay, what is it? And they go, okay, that right there, that's ammunition gathering, and that is a buying sign. That means they are interested in you as a candidate. The next thing that's kind of like a dead giveaway is they start scheduling, right? So if you're 45 minutes into the conversation and you're like, this is going well. I think this is going good. And they go, okay, Ben, well, our hiring manager, he or she is available next Wednesday from noon to 5 and Thursday from 2 to 4. How would that work with your schedule? They don't do that unless they're interested, right? There's no reason to do that. As a recruiter, I can tell you, I have been not interested in moving forward with candidates, and 0% of the time do I get their availability for the next step. It doesn't make any sense. It's a waste of everybody's time. If they are scheduling with you and they're coordinating calendars, they're interested. There's no other reason to do that. The next one that is a really interesting sign that they're interested is they divulge more information than they need to. Right? So for example, if they tell you, oh, well, the hiring manager's name is blank, so you can look her up on LinkedIn. They would never do that to a candidate they were not interested in. You know why? Because then they would be worried that the candidate would reach out directly to the hiring manager. They'd be concerned that they'd add them as a connection. They send a message, hey, I interviewed with Ben. He seemed interested for your team. He told me, he gave me your name. No, that would never happen. If they give you information about who the hiring manager is, maybe if they go into depth about the products or services they're involved with contributing to, or they talk about specific company events in the future that you could attend if they hire you, they're interested. There is no reason to do any of that unless they're interested in you as a candidate, and there's actually a lot of reasons why they shouldn't do that. If they don't want to move you forward, they're never going to tell you the hiring manager's name, they are never going to tell you different people on the team's name, and they most likely will not tell you about future events because you're not going to be going to that event. So why would they tell you? Every single recruiter should make sure that the candidates they're submitting to their hiring managers are within the salary range. The last thing you want to do is submit somebody amazing, and then it turns out they're 30 to 40K above the salary range. There are a few ways you can lose credibility with your hiring managers if you're a recruiter than doing that. That is a terrible mistake. So every good recruiter should do this every time. But if you get to the point where they're honing in, okay, so you said you're at this and the range is this, okay, would you be comfortable if it was at this? What if the benefits were at this? If they really spend time confirming and making sure, check, we're in line, it's a really good match. More likely than not, they're interested in you as a candidate. Now, they may want to do that just to make sure and gather market data, but if you can tell they are really investing in making sure there's absolutely no misalignment, it probably means they're interested in you as a candidate. That is a great sign. One of the things you should always be looking for is how hard they are selling you on the opportunity and the company. A good recruiter, a good hiring manager, a good HR person should always be selling candidates on what's exciting about the role, what's exciting about the company, right? They should do it every single time. I'm not saying that. But if you can tell they're going out of their way to really pitch it, they're interested. I've interviewed, again, thousands and thousands and thousands of candidates, and I tend to know relatively quickly if I'm interested in them as a candidate, and if I'm not, I don't belabor the point of how fantastic my company is or how fantastic my client's company is. You move on. You're efficient with your time. If you're not interested in a candidate, you're never going to spend the time talking about future events they could attend, future training they could partake in. You wouldn't go on and on and on. If you ask them, they'll answer. But if unprompted, they go out of their way and they go above and beyond to sell you on the company, the training, the culture, the benefits. They're interested. The last thing I want you to be on the lookout for is them confirming how good of a fit you are, right? So I've actually said to candidates, and I don't shy away from this, I go, I actually think you'd be a pretty good fit for the role. There seems to be some pretty strong alignment here, so I am going to send you to the hiring manager. Dead giveaway, but I've never said that unless I felt really strongly about a candidate. If a candidate's an A, I'll say that. If a candidate is a C, I probably won't say that. So if a recruiter says this to you and they have confidence, conviction, that means they like you as a candidate. You are getting moved forward and you will be talking to the hiring manager. They only say that when they're absolutely sure. And I'm gonna do one more reminder here. If you're interviewing and you get to the end of the conversation with the recruiter, always close. I've done videos on closing before, but I'll just throw it in as a bonus here. Remember to say to them, hey, I've got one more question. Do you have any questions or concerns about my ability to do the job? That is a close. Two things will happen. One, they'll say, no, Ben, I don't have any interest, or I don't have any concerns in you as a candidate. And if they say that, go, excellent, because I'm really interested in this role and I'm interested in pursuing it further. And I'm excited to talk to the hiring manager and the team. When can I expect that to happen? And try to confirm next steps and when and the timeline, all that. It's important to you, so you know when you can expect these things to happen. The second thing that could happen is they can go, actually, Ben, yeah, I'm concerned. You don't seem to have enough of CNC machining experience. Maybe you do, though. And maybe you left it off your LinkedIn profile and your resume. It is the perfect and only opportunity you will get to go, you know what? Thank you so much for sharing that with me. I actually didn't put that on my resume, but I've got about 18 months where I was intimately involved with CNC programming, machining, etc. Whatever it is, you have the opportunity to rebuttal. If you don't close, you will never get that opportunity, and you are at a disadvantage as a candidate. There you have it. That is everything. Do me a favor, if you're still watching and you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It is free, and it tells YouTube I don't suck, which I would appreciate. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you never miss one of my videos. Hit that notification bell. Have a great rest of the day. Good luck in your next interview. You've got this.